Hello, folks. So we're going to talk about this plant today, and this is one of the anomalies from propagating with two pitcher cuttings. But first, we're going to do a quick recap of when this thing was first posted in February of 2026. Here we go.
Here's one thing I love when growing cephalotus with using the pitchers. You never know what you're gonna get. So here, this is bubble, started on 322.25. This plant here started as two pitchers. And as you can see, this is just a regular container. I believe what used to be in here was Jello. And from two pitchers came these guys. I got one. There's multiple growing points here, but lo and behold, it produced this anomaly. It is already setting out mature pitchers in 1 year. So under my situation, this is something new. So what is the mix I use? This is just a cephalotus potting mix that I blend, which is 1/3 organic African violet mix, 1/3 perlite, and 1/3 peat moss. And in the bottom of this container is almost half full of perlite, and then the potting mix on the top. So very interesting to see how this thing grows. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. So as you can see, it is still in its small container, like so. And I still have the propagation date, March 22nd, 2025. So it's about a year and 3 months. And what you find is it has developed quite a bit from when the last video was taken.
And here's a side-by-side comparison from February until now.
And you can see one of the pictures from the video, and you can see how much bigger than that it has gotten. And to illustrate how big this plant has become, I have this 25 millimeter, and this is the size of a quarter. And I realize I may have some international audiences who don't know how big a quarter really is. So there you go. So this is a 25 millimeter, and here's the contrast between the first set of pictures and now. And I believe this is the largest picture so far, and this is the bubble giant. And here's a measurement with a scale to make it easy to understand how big this plant is getting. So what I've been doing is putting the maxi fertilizer in each of these pitchers. As you can see, there's in there, and also diluting it and putting it into its growing container. And you can see some of the solution that is still in there. And by the end of the day, this amount of water is already either used by the plant or has transpired through the rest of the soil. So in here, we have other juvenile plants of the same age. And usually this is what you would expect if you're doing a leaf cutting, is to have this kind of growth that you see on the screen right now, rather than having this growth. So even though they're all identical as clones, I still don't have any idea why this plant is developing this way and growing as fast as it does. And as you can also see, there are additional pictures on its way. You have this one over here, and then you have 2 more that are developing over here. And what I do every day is look at this plant once in the morning, once in the evening, and slightly adjust these pictures so that they're not crowding each other, which ensures that they will have a normal development. And then if there's a need, I will either remove pictures that will block it, or I will bunch up sphagnum moss and just lift the picture up higher so it grows above these guys. Because as you can see on this one, it looks like it's going to be forming more pictures from its crown right there. So there you go. There's an update. One thing to note is, although I am mounting it up, the moss is keeping everything tight. So on occasion, I do remove some of the moss and replace it with fresh soil, like you see right here in the center, which is just a 50-50 peat moss and fine silica sand. Because if you don't remove some of the moss, the plant has a difficult time forming roots through the moss, because the moss are just so intertwined and forms a very solid mat, which prevents their delicate roots from growing through it. So there you go. If you have any questions about this plant, post it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have. There you go. Thank you for watching and have a great day.